How's it going, everyone? This is PD Proudlock, and it is the player ratings from yesterday's 1-1 draw away to Brighton down at the Amex Stadium. It was a draw. We didn't get the 3 points. We probably could have maybe at the end, but I suppose it wasn't a loss. We're still winless, that is the thing. But I think because the way Brighton have played this season, they've been done very well this season. I think a lot of some fans will be good. Will be happy that they got a point, but some will be disappointed that we still haven't got 3 points and we still haven't got a win this season. That is the thing. Eddie Howe was in the stands watching yesterday as well, along with Amanda Staveley. And it's just a matter of time before he is announced as our next manager very, very soon. It really, really is. But the game, first half, terrible. Absolutely terrible. We'll go 5 at the back. And I'm just very critical of this formation. It doesn't really work. I must say, we're kept with the same 3 centre-backs. We made a change at wing-back on the right-hand side. We brought in Murphy. We took out Mankiel. So... yeah, Shelby came back in as well, which was a bit of a shock as well. But as I mentioned, the first half was terrible. We'll give away a penalty. I don't know what Kieran Clark is doing. Some have said, oh, it's not a penalty. It's a penalty for me. He catches Trossard, and even the referee, David Coote himself, went to check VAR, and he thinks it was a penalty. I think it was a penalty. It was quite clumsy from Kieran Clark. I don't know what he's doing. They're trying to tackle like that. I really don't know. And Trossard steps up and just put it straight down the middle. So we are 1-0 down within the game. Brighton have a lot of the ball, pushing forward, want to go for that second goal, which they didn't. So they're going to the game 1-0 up at half time. And I think Graham Jones probably had to get into those players at half time to make sure they really stepped up, because first half they didn't step up at all. Second half it was a lot more better, not as fantastic, but there was a slight improvement, definitely in the second half from us. And it's a cracking goal from Isaac Hayden. Good ball cross into the box from Richie. Clark heads it down, and there was Hayden to get his boot onto it and rifle it past Sanchez to get us back in the game. And that was good. That we managed to get back in the game as well. Still, we were trying to see if we could get a winner. We probably could have, because Joe Linton coming on as a substitute plays a cracking long ball. And there's Callum Wilson making the run. You're thinking, right, he's going around the keeper, Sanchez. There's his chance. He's going to get us the winner. And then Sanchez brings him down. I don't know why this wasn't blown at first, because Sanchez, he definitely denied a goal-scoring opportunity for Wilson. Should have just blew, and he should have been off straight away. But they had to look at VAR. Well, David Coote again went back to the VAR monitor, and then he looked at it carefully, and he saw that Sanchez denied Callum Wilson a goal-scoring opportunity, and he sent him off, and rightly so. So it was correct decision all day. He denied a goal-scoring opportunity. End of story. So there you are. And then it was a Dunk who had to go in goal. My word, but nothing really came after that, I must say. So it was a 1-1. So you could say it was a pretty fair result. Brighton much a better side in the first half, but second half we really improved. That was the thing, indeed. So I think it's, as I mentioned, not long till Eddie Howe gets appointed, and hopefully he can get this team sorted out after the international break, get them prepared for when we take on Brentford. 2 weeks, well, just under 2 weeks. So there we are. Now into the player ratings now from yesterday's game. So starting off in goal, Caldolo. And it was a much better performance than what he did against Chelsea. His distribution was a lot more better this time. It really, really was. I thought I wanted to see Dubravka come back in, but Graham Jones said, not yet. I think he says Dubravka's at the minute's going to have to try and fight for his place at this moment of time. But a much improved performance from Caldolo yesterday it was. So he gets a 7 from me. And now into the 3 centre-backs. So first of all, I'm going to go with Emil Kraft. And I thought he did pretty well. I must say, had to make a few clearances. and which he had to do. So that was good because I don't rate the lad at all. I really, really don't. But I thought he did pretty well yesterday. Emil Kraft knew he had to get those clearances away. Otherwise, Brighton were going to come our and really put us under pressure. But I thought Emil Kraft did what he had to do yesterday. So I'm going to give him a 6. Now, in the middle of the centre-backs, that was the captain, Jamal Lascelles, and there's still something not right at the moment. I mean, he was booked early on in the game for a rash tackle. And then he's complaining to the referee about it. It's a yellow card offence all day. He knew what he'd done, Jamal Lascelles. The rest of the game, it wasn't all bad, but still, there's just something not right with Jamal Lascelles at the moment. There really, really isn't. Can't afford to be putting rash tackles in like that. Definitely not. So I'll give Jamal Lascelles a 5. And the last of the centre-backs, and that was Kieran Clark. He set up the goal for Hayden, but he made a silly tackle for the penalty. And again, the same. Who's been really, really underperforming as well. It was a little better, but again, give away a silly penalty. But he set up the goal, which was good for Hayden. So I'll give him credit for that. So I'll give Clark a 5 as well. Now into the wing-backs. Right-hand side, Jacob Murphy, who started yesterday, and I thought he did well. He was getting up and down that right-hand side. He really, really was. He was trying to get balls into the box. And I thought he really did well yesterday. Possibly a little bit harsh on Mankior losing out. But I thought Jacob Murphy did what he did yesterday as well. Bombing up and down there, getting those crosses in the box. So Jacob Murphy, I'm going to give him a 7. Left-hand side of the wing-backs, and that was Matt Ritchie, and that was a lot better from what I have been seeing from him the past few games, where he's looked completely and utterly finished. Cross did well, which he whipped in for Clark to get the header to assist Hayden with the goal, and that was much better. So, and that's what you just want to see from Matt Ritchie, don't you? Because he's been coming in for a lot of criticism lately. He does give 110%. He has really looked really poor the last couple of games, but it was a lot better yesterday from Ritchie. So I'll give him a 6. Now I'm going to go into the midfield roles. So first of all, I'm going to go with Isaac Hayden, who got the equaliser, and that was a lot better from him as well. That is the Hayden you want to see playing out on the pitch. It really, really is. Took his goal fantastic. He really, really did. I must say, got his boot onto that, and Sanchez had no chance of stopping that. He really, really didn't. Good to see Hayden try and get back to his best now. And hopefully we could see more of that now throughout the rest of the season. Hayden gets a 7 from me. Next player in the midfield roles, and that was John Joe Shelvey. Not great, I must say. Some of his long passes just weren't really coming off. And again, towards the end, he's got a chance to either shoot a goal to test Lewis Dunk, who had to go in goal, or try and put it a bit more central, but he aimed for the far post, and that was a wasted opportunity, I must say. I certainly think the bloke's time is now done at this football club. It really, really is. We need to move him on. We certainly need to move him on now, I must say. We really need to. Shelvey gets a 4 for me. And the last player in the midfield roles, and that was Miggy, and that was absolutely dreadful. It really was. He lost the ball a lot of the time. His decision making was terrible. I was glad to see him back in the start lineup, but that was terrible from Miggy yesterday. That is one of his worst performances I've really seen from him at this football club. He looked lost throughout the whole game. Passing, awful. And just giving the ball away at careless times, he really, really did. Miggy gets a 1 from me. It was absolutely terrible. It really, really was. And I'm now the attacking 2 up front. So first of all, I'm going to go with ASM. And it was a little bit more better, but at times he was still quite ineffective. There was times I thought he was getting beat off the ball far too easily. Well, again, Brighton were going to look at him as our main threat. That was the thing. So, yeah, he did set up the pass for Ritchie to get the cross in. But hopefully we can see what Eddie Howe could possibly do and try and get better out of ASM as well, because it looks like he has gone a little bit down since Steve Bruce has been left, I must say. I would say he has. So let's see what Eddie Howe can do and get him back to his best. So ASM, he's going to get a 5 from me. And the last player, and that was Callum Wilson. And you know what he does out on the pitch. He puts himself about. Just very unlucky he couldn't get in there to score towards the end of the game. But because the keeper brought him down, he couldn't. But you know what Callum Wilson is all about at this club now. You really, really do. So Callum Wilson gets a 6 from me. And now I'm going to go into the substitutions. So first of all, I'm going to go with Joe Linton. And I thought his holder play was pretty good. And he set up that long pass for Callum Wilson to get the run on his left foot as well, Joe Linton. And that was a cracking ball, I must say, from Joe Linton. It really, really was. And again, his holder play, I couldn't really fault it. And the pass he played was really good. So I'm going to give Joe Linton a 6. I think it was right to bring him on for Miggy, because Miggy was terrible yesterday. He was. And that pass he picked out there for Wilson was really good. So that is why I'll give Joe Linton a 6. In the last substitution, and that was Dwight Gale, but came on right into stoppage time for Emil Kraft. We only made the 2 changes yesterday, so there. Because he came on in a stoppage time, I'm not going to mark him. Now I'll go into Graham Jones. And again, the lineup, you could say, was questionable. 5 at the back again. But I think he must have given the players a talking to at half-time. Because it certainly was poor in the first half. It really, really was. And we did come out the second half a lot more better. We really, really did. I'll give Graham Jones a 5. We can tell we need the new manager in. It's just, again, a matter of time before Eddie Howe is now announced as our new manager very soon now. So that is my player ratings. Let me know down, as always, in the comments. Do you agree with what I've gone with? If you were to change, let me know, as always, and why. Tomorrow night, the 4 Horsemen of the Toon, it is going to be the final show of the 4 Horsemen of the Toon, because Paul has decided to come out and say he thinks he needs to tone it down with the swearing and a lot of the dirty sexual stuff that keeps coming on the show every single time. So it's understandable, and I respect his decision that he wants to look at do something that's more football related now than that. It has been a great laugh on a Monday night, but I know some of you are going to be very disappointed that it is going to be the last show of the 4 Horsemen of the Toon. We'll be looking at a lot of clips back throughout the rest of the shows as well. So yeah, you're going to have to wonder if you're going to try and make me spit my drink out for the very final time tomorrow night. But yeah, it's going to be the last show. And unfortunately, of the 4 Horsemen of the Toon. So thank you for watching. Of course, don't forget to give this video a like. Please drop your comments in, as always. And please, if you haven't checked me out before, please do hit that subscribe button. We're not too far away from hitting 1,300 subscribers on the channel. Please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me if you could do that. And I shall catch us all here. Take care. Well, and what did you think of the game yesterday? Was a point a fair result? Or are you still disappointed we still haven't got our first win of the season?